So, you guys want to try to talk about sports?
I have maybe, I guess. Sure. Wow.
Some news broke today.
What was that, Andrew?
I bet you nobody's heard yet because it only happened 10 hours ago or something. But Clint Capela and the Houston Rockets have agreed on a 5-year, $90 million deal. Now, Mike, I know you and I probably disagree on this a little bit. Kev, I don't quite know where you stand. But I'm just gonna shoot my thoughts on this off right away, but just when I first heard it. One, if Clint Capela would have took that qualifying offer and got out of Houston after next year, your chance at a title runs out after next year, regardless if you can get out from under that CP3 contract in a couple years, regardless of what you do, because you got too much cap space invested in too many guys, and you need a third piece. I mean, there's a team who has 5 All-Stars. You need a third piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. And for a team like Houston, where it's James Harden controlling the ball most of the time, Chris Paul controlling the ball the other most of the time, that third guy, I mean, what fits better than somebody who's going to block your shot, get you an offensive rebound, get you a defensive rebound outlet? I mean, he does what the team needs. He can guard smaller guys on the perimeter. He can really kind of he fills the holes for the Rockets. And if you don't get those holes filled by somebody, because that team has a ton of weaknesses, it's just that their strengths they're so good at them. Mm-hmm. They're so good at shooting the three. They're so good at handling the ball. They have 2 of the best ball handlers. They have 2 point guards. They have 2 MVP caliber point guards. James Harden just won the MVP. So really, I think it's a move that they're kind of backed into a corner to, but they're also happy to make. 74 games last year. He's healthy for the most part, and he's gotten better every single year.
I agree with most of what you just said. I just don't really agree with throwing money at a DeMarcus Cousins type, Anthony Davis type center nowadays. I just think that position is obsolete unless you can put up over 20 points per game and shoot the three. Like, if you can't do that, give me Aaron Bain. He's like, you know what I mean? I don't need Clint Capela.
Yeah, but even if you don't
spend that money elsewhere.
But that's the thing. Even if you don't give Clint Capela the money here, but you don't have the money to spend elsewhere because you got the only reason you can sign Clint Capela is for the bird rights. With Ryan Anderson, you got $20 million a year invested in Ryan Anderson, $16 million a year invested in Eric Gordon. You just had to let Trevor Ariza go to the Suns. Well,
but here's the thing, though. Now you have all that money tied up in Clint Capela. Next year's free agency is going to be crazy.
And then there's a tradable contract?
I don't know. I think that position is obsolete. So really, I wouldn't trade for that. I wouldn't trade for Clint Capela because I wouldn't sign Clint Capela to that deal. But that's me.
Right. In most circumstances, I agree with you. I would not sign a center who can't shoot the three, who can't do a lot of things that modern day NBA players have to do. But if I'm the Rockets, I have to make that move. That's more so my point. More so, it's a move you had to make than it's the right move.
Because you can't. Yeah, you can let him go, but then you're left with James Harden, Chris Paul, and then what?
Who the fuck's their backup center?
You need that extra piece. But at the same time, if you're trying to win a championship this year, you're trying to match up and beat the Warriors. And I just don't know how a traditional big man who has very limited offensive game, he does play defense, he does rebound and blah, blah, blah. But how much rebounding and how much defense will he do when DeMarcus Cousins is 25, 30 feet out from behind the basket? Are they going to leave DeMarcus Cousins open? Is he going to be out? Is he going to be in the paint? So it's he's a good player. But in terms of trying to beat the Warriors, to match up against the Warriors, I just don't know how he is going to match up or how he will gel with trying to defend all those monsters out there in Golden State.
No, yeah. You brought up a great point because that's end game. They only have one job. That's to beat that one team. They don't even have to win the title, but they have to beat that one team.
Last year, what were the Rockets focused on? They didn't care about any team out east. They cared about beating the Warriors. And, they finished with a better regular season record, right? They had the number 1 overall seed. But playing them 7 times you can't match up with them. I mean, I don't know if that is a make or break type player. Like Clint Capela is a good player, so it's not like he would harm your team. But I just don't know how much he helps you beat or to, guard the Warriors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but they don't got to worry about that because they signed Carmelo Anthony. You didn't hear about that?
Oh no, I fell asleep on that.
But like Melo, like
he's so good. Still, he's so good.
Like, Melo.
If I could have any player on my team in the entire NBA, it'd be Carmelo Anthony.
In 2006,
I was gonna say.
I want 2020 Melo. Hashtag Melo for president 2020.
I feel like Wayne's World. I just transformed like 10 years behind. Like I'm 13 years old. I'm playing NBA like 06 on the PS2. Like, oh my God.
NBA Live 06 was Wade on the cover.
Oh, you better believe it.
That's the one.
That's
the one. I'm telling you, 06 was the year for sports video games. 2K6 MLB
and
06 the show and 07. Madden 06.
06 the show with David Ortiz on the cover. They did the whole on the back. I remember on the back of the case there was the whole special on how he got the nickname Big Poppy, and then there was a little part on the soup Dave fucking Campbell, like I cared, and like it was just 06 the show in my opinion is the greatest baseball video game ever made. Followed closely by 2K6. Followed closely by 07 the show.
The Ethos.
The Ethos pitch.
Enough.
How many times? So one thing Mike and I did when we were younger, we would make a pitcher on 2K6, 99 at everything, who threw a fucking nasty Ethos. Just the nasty.
18 miles an hour.
So how we would do it, we would actually take the ball marker for where the pitch is going to go, and we would point it at the batter's head.
Yeah, for right-handed batters. For lefties, it was a little tricky.
Yeah.
You had to have.
You had to put.
So what would happen is we'd point it at these batters' head, and if you got the pitch right, it would hit the dirt in the other batter's box, and they would swing.
Except for David Ortiz, he was God.
He broke up every no-hitter, which was almost every game with that pitcher, and for some reason we always were playing. And he wasn't even on the Red Sox. He was on the Braves. Yeah, and we were always playing the Braves. We played like a month, and David Ortiz hit like 15 home runs off our team alone.
Yep. Andrew Player.
Andrew Player.
On my memory card somewhere.
Right next to Elton Bridges.
So,
Carmelo Anthony,
though. Real quick before that, you two do me a favor. Don't look at this, Mike. Do me a favor and try to name two Houston Rockets better or worse.
No. He is not good.
Worse.
Now, I probably agree. But my thought on the matter is it's the worst version we've ever seen of Carmelo Anthony. This guy's still probably got to be better than a lot of the guys in the league, right?
I mean, it's not that he's a necessarily bad player. He is just not a 20, 25 shots a game type dude.
Right. So
he needs to be their sixth man. If he is their sixth man, they could thrive.
So is that what the rest of his career is going to be based off of? If he's willing to take a role, not even necessarily as a sixth man. I mean, I think that's ideal as well. But let's say he wants to start, but he only is taking 8 shots a game, 9 shots a game. Is that how he turns his career back around and becomes a respectable NBA player again?
It's the only way. Dude, he has to either start and play like 25 minutes and end up have the rotation, so he's the main option when they're out, when everyone else is on the bench, or you have to be the sixth man.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. And his ego won't let him, and that's the worst part about it.
Rockets won 67 games last year?
I have no idea.
We'll say 67. How many do they win this year?
61.
Ariza and PJ Tucker out on their defense and their energy and their wing depth.
Like losing Iggy if you're the Warriors.
That is the biggest deal that no one is talking about. They talk about adding Melo. No. You should be talking about losing your depth and your defense, because that's what he does not bring. And that's what he just took from you. And he doesn't provide any compensation. And you already have shooting. You already have scoring. No.
Give me a number.
But I'll be shocked if the Rockets are better than the third team out west. I could.
So what? What's that in the West? 55 wins, 56 wins.
I think that's fair.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
that's
last
probably,
year the 3rd seed and like the 7th seed were all separated by like 2 games, like 57.
Yeah, it was
like that.
the
probably
Blazers were the 3rd seed and they were only 2 games up, I believe,
I mean,
on the Timberwolves,
yeah,
who were the 8th seed.